our quarterback said something a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, he's shooting for the stars. He's telling it like it is in regards to he's got this team in a position, this offense in a position to be shooting for the elite of college football. And that's what people are starting to expect. And he just laid it out there with Pro Football Focus this week to say, this is why I'm here. This is what we're gunning for. I came here to win a national championship. Probably didn't feel and this is a compliment on my part, didn't feel comfortable or in the right position to be throwing out those kind of terms, because when you're winning 5 games, you're not in that position. But now he is. And the Heisman Trophy talk was thrown at him, and I'm sure that's just beginning. We're going to hear that from now until the LSU game, the Heisman Trophy talk. And as any good leader, he acknowledge that that's okay. That would be great, but that's not the focus. That's not why we're here. That's not the goal. It's about team and it's about championships.
What I like about what Jordan is saying here is Jordan Travis is somebody who rooting for Florida State. Obviously, his brother played baseball at Florida State when he was a child in his early teenage years. So he's somebody who grew up wanting to be a Seminole. He's like, a little bit. I grew up a Florida State fan as a child. Logan was a Florida State fan. We've wanted Florida State to succeed. So I think that's where you're getting with Jordan, is somebody who is happy Florida State's back, Florida State to succeed. And I think you mentioned a little bit the way last season ended, the way it ended with the 6 straight wins, with Travis throwing the ball. I mean, we're talking about 400 against an Oklahoma team. That's against a named program. It's not like he's on ACC teams. He's beating up on
Invincibles. Yeah.
Right. He's beaten up on Oklahoma. He's beaten up on Florida. He's beaten up on Miami. He beat up earlier in the season. He's got some name wins here. I want Florida State to be in the national championship competition this coming season. I think it would be a lot for Florida State to get there. I think Florida State will be in the conversation for an ACC title. I don't know as much right now about the national title. We'll see as the season goes on. But you can get into this a little bit more with me. When it comes to the Heisman Trophy, I think he is in the serious conversation, because you look at it. Look at who the finalists were last year. Obviously, Caleb Williams, the quarterback from USC, won the title. He is returning for what will be his 3rd season of college football. But C.J. Stroud from Ohio State, he's gone. He's heading to the NFL. Bryce from Alabama is heading to the NFL. Stetson Bennett, the 35-year-old from Georgia, it seems like he's 35. He's heading to the NFL at this rate. Other than Caleb Williams, who will be coming back for another year, who are some of the other guys? Drake May maybe at North Carolina. Obviously, you'll have the big name programs like Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia may send somebody. You may have Jay Daniels at LSU. I think that game, that Florida State game, is going to be the winner of that game. Could vault into the early front runner after week 1. But I think Jordan is a serious right now, as we're doing the show on January 25th, barring injury, barring somebody, coming out big in the spring, coming out big in the summer. I think he's in the early conversation to be in New York come December.
Yeah, I agree. I think he definitely should be in the conversation. There's a reason why there's a return, and I like how he's saying, coming back for a national championship, and I think he definitely, that's the focus now. There's no way he was able to say that last offseason, and there's just no way. Now I think there's a lot of built-up confidence, and I'll tell you what, that 3-game losing stretch, especially that Louisville game, might have been the best thing that ever happened to Jordan Travis. I've just seen a switch happen with him, definitely at practices. I mean, he came pissed off, and even for Coach Norvell to open up and tell us that, something did switch with him, and he does kind of look like he's ticked off at practice, but he's playing really well, and the focus there really turned into him becoming a leader, calling guys out, having a lot of accountability. That's something Jordan Travis wasn't doing earlier on in the season. He wasn't doing that in game prep for the LSU. He wasn't doing that before the Duquesne game. There was definitely more hands-on with some of the other guys, and maybe in the quarterback room, and helping out the wide receivers and certain routes and yada, 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 and having some good communication. But things switched to where he is, getting kind of fiery at practices and competing and getting a little chippy with the defensive side of the ball. He's making sure that guys are running the right routes. And if you're not running the right routes, he's going to let you know. That's something that I think really switched in the middle of the season when they went through that losing game stretch. And this team is really ticked off that they went and lost those games because they truly think that they hurt themselves. They did this to themselves to not making a run to the college football playoff. They are so mad. And the coaching staff too, you can usually hear it's like coach speak. If we kind of hurt ourselves, we lost, all this kind of thing. But to see the players really, every one of them, no matter if you're a wide receiver, you're a defensive lineman, they all have that same kind of lingo. And they said it after the season too, after that Oklahoma game. They said, Jared Verse is talking about that they should have fixed a lot of things. And Trayshawn Ward is even saying that too. Now that, he's transferred, but he was saying, there was a lot of things to where we screwed ourselves and hurt ourselves and not putting ourselves in the right position to win these games. And we should have been in that conversation to make it to a playoff or, compete for an ACC championship. And I'm just wondering now, though, the biggest question to us is, Norvell came into a program that wasn't winning, had a lot of work to do, and there wasn't a lot of confidence built. Now that there is confidence built, along comes pressure. And I'm wondering if this team is mature enough to be able to have the pressure on their shoulders, because it is going to be enormous once they go down to Orlando. It's going to be a lot different than going to the damn Cheez-It Bowl against Oklahoma. I'm sorry. At LSU, and Brian Kelly is going to bring it for his first, I wouldn't say his first year, but this is like, it's all out. Like, you got to go win these kind of games if you're going to be going and coaching for LSU. Like, you got to win that. And, that starts off a huge campaign for both teams. And I'm just wondering the pressure, what Mike Norvell's different type of mentality will be. I don't think much will change, but I don't think FSU fans, they don't want to see an over, I don't know. I don't want to say cocky, but I don't want to see too much confidence to where you're going out and you're overestimating or you're underestimating your opponents. And I think that's something, at least from Mike Norvell, I want to see him do, because he's shown us a lot. He's shown us the build. He's showed us the climb. Now, how do you sustain it with players that are still hungry, I would say?